wanna live. I'm cold inside, give all I have just to feel alive. I fight to live, I fight to strive. One day I'll have what I want in life. And when you feel like you're nothing, but you wanna be something, yeah, well, all you really need is hope. I just want you to trust me if you wanna be something. That's right. Let's go. Yeah, when you're feeling down and you're out, like you got nothing but doubt, you're alone in the crowd, just trying to figure it out. All that is bad, and this money got you feeling left out. Listen up to me now, every word that's out of my mouth. Wake up, it's me. You're gonna follow your dreams, or are you just gonna be another cog in the scene? You feel the hope in this beat, yeah, the hope that you need to proceed and be exactly what you want it to be. I feel right, and I'm proud, hype and I'm loud. I'ma shout all about how I feel in the now. Ain't nobody ever gonna try to change me till I'm dead, pushing up daisies. I'm alone in the crowd, I won't feel down. I got hope right now, and I know I'll be found. I don't really care just what all other haters gotta say. I know everything I do is gonna make them fade away, And when you feel like you're nothing, but you wanna be something, yeah, well, all you really need is hope. I just want you to trust me if you wanna be something, yeah, then all you really need is hope.
That should be better. I'm sorry about that. I'm also sorry about the fact that there is no music or anything on the screen. I did not realize it was best of 5 until I started the countdown. So bear with me. It is best of 5. What all did I say? Oh, it is Can't Censorship versus $1 Million JPEG in Storm Division, which I believe is the only one with prizes. It may be one, it may be the only. We'll have to see. But either way, we've got one heck of a match today. It's a long one for me. If I need to, I will feel free to take a snack and water break. And this is a replay cast, so no one is waiting on me. This is going to be fantastic. I'm stoked to see this play out. So very quickly going over the maps. I don't know who won coin flip, as I was saying. I don't remember when I turned on my mic, but whatever. We've got Dragonshire and Sky Temple banned out by Can't Censorship, and $1 Million JPEG bans out Valskaya and Towers. Big thing I'm noticing, it seems like Can't Censorship does not like dueling maps. And $1 million JPEG does not like macro maps. So we will have to see how that plays out in the future, but for the time being, we are going to the Tomb of the Spider Queen. Would love to see this draft, but apparently this is old, and I don't think, yeah, I don't think I have the proper overlay and stuff for this version. But we'll see. Maybe I do. Kind of hoping I do. Oh, game might be crashing. Bear with me, I did not realize that this was an old version game. Alright, looks like it's loading just fine. So let's go ahead and get into this. Assuming it doesn't freeze up and actually does load. Gotta love older versions. Really not sure how this will work. I know I usually have to do some prep stuff to make it show up properly. Does look like we're using default UI. Sadness. Okay. Either way, everything else still works. We will have to adapt on the fly. Either way, for the left side, Cat Censorship, we have Shredded Wind on Lucio, Mundane Zebra on Blaze, Sicario on, I believe that's the Lunara? Yes, because Death Strikes is the Tassadar, and Ginge Boy on the Beetle. As for the right side, $1 million JPEG, we've got Pepper on Hogger, Chaotic on Imperius, Hydra, not Hydra, Hyva on Sylvanus, Zane Hades on the Varian, and I think that's two O's, Wingoon on Anduin. I'm very curious to see how this plays out, because we've got a basically triple bruiser on the right side. Now this does make sense kind of for Spider Queen. There's not a lot of team fights, so a typical comp isn't necessarily the best comp. Big pull coming out from the Anduin. That could have been a very easy early pick. Looks like we do see 4-man rotations, though, even with this unusual team comp from the red side. Lots of aggression onto the Imperius. Lots of aggression in general coming from Cant Censorship. They are going to get first blood. Not much of an XP advantage, though. Sylvanas barely making it out. Not really seeing anything unusual play-wise so far. Let's go ahead and check out the talents. So, for Blaze, we've got the Adrenaline Stim Pack. Makes sense. Looks like we're going Carapace build for the Anubarak. I hear fighting. Nothing crazy. So yeah, nothing too unusual pick-wise. Does look like we're going to have the overpower for the Varian. And red team is going to be picking up 4s first. Barely first, but they will be picking them up first as well as the mid-camp. Now I am very curious how long this fight is going to go on. It is currently 4v3. Varian is an actual hero now, being at level 4. Aggression onto the Lunara, dropping her to about half. Lucio should be able to heal that up, no problem though. Red camp is going to get cleared up. Blue camp already almost gone, though. Big stab coming from the Imperius. No one to follow it up, though. Big taunt on the Beetle, and the Beetle does get squished. Trying to deny that big gem right there in the middle. But I couldn't tell if that got picked up by the Tassadar. Either way, we still do not have a turn-in available for either side. Red is only a few gems shy of it, though. They're likely going to be the first ones able to turn in, and we might be seeing a big team fight soon. Hogger is going to be picking up bot camp, though. Not sure if that is found out, and it is found out by the Blaze. Not sure they can do anything about it. Not sure they want to do anything about it. Levels still neck and neck. Turn-ins available for both teams simultaneously, which means we are likely going to be seeing a team fight any moment now. Varian positioning aggressively, trying to see what he can find. He doesn't have a team to back him up, though, so he does back up slightly. Lots of poking coming both sides. Definitely seems like they want this fight. Almost a turn-in from the Sylvanas, but she does not manage to get it. She is 11 of those gems, as you can see right there. Even if she goes down, there's still enough gems to turn in, but they desperately need her to stay alive, and they are going to have any chance in these fights. Varian dropping a little bit here. Nothing crazy. Stab on 2. Gets pushed off, though. Big taunt. Lunar dropping to 50%. But Varian dropping much faster in retaliation does manage to barely stay afloat. Is probably going to back right here. Yep, those 17 gems in danger. Does look like blue team is going to get the first turn in unless red team can get a poke, but I don't think they have enough health to pull it off, and they do not. Blue team is our first turn in for game 1. Does look like we're going to see a pretty standard split from red team in retaliation of these. Now, the question is if they can get enough gems during this Web Weaver phase, while not losing stuff, in order to get a double turn-in. If you can get a double turn-in, that is a death sentence in this game. Big taunt on the Beetle. Beetle drops to 50%, drops much faster, does back out. That is... He's probably not going to be able to engage anytime soon. Lucio can't really target heal him back up. Root out on him, but nothing to follow it up. And the middle Web Weaver is going to get burned, only losing a front wall for the red team. We do see the rotation up towards the top, though. Big wall to try and slow down the rotation. Taunt on, I didn't see who it was, but no one to follow it up. And the Web Weaver does go down here. Likely. Possibly. Any second. And it does go down. Root going out does find the Beetle. No one to follow it up, though. Big stab on, it looked like 2. I wasn't quite able to tell, though. Wall to try and bait out the pull, and the pull was baited out. Don't think he would have died with the pull, but a wall for a pull, definitely a favorable trade for the blue team if they can take advantage of that. Red team does have turn-in, though, which means it does look like we're going to have a fight, even though blue team is down 10s. They're going to keep trying to poke, desperately trying to find their 10s, and they do not find them. The Web Weavers are coming down. They should have 10s in time to defend, and there are the 10s. Let's take a look at some of the ultimates we have. We've got Hortipult, we've got Wailing Arrow, we've got Light Bomb, and we've got the Shield for Imperius. Meanwhile, on the left side, we've got Bunker, we've got Cocoon, we've got, I forget what it's called, Archon, High Five, and Leaping Strikes. Nothing too atypical here. That Bunker can definitely shut down the Wailing Arrow, Light Bomb nonsense that the right team has going on here. I am curious if we're going to see a Light Bomb and then the Hortipult, because the Hortipult has a fair amount of range. It doesn't have any setup CC to try and set up for the Light Bomb, but it does still have that mobility. We'll have to see. Red team does have the double turn-in. This could be a very dangerous situation for blue team. They are going to try and get damage onto the Varian. It looks like they see the danger and are going to try and fight against it, forcing red team to back up for a minute and recover. The lanes are going to equalize now, meaning that it is no longer too dangerous of a double turn-in. It's still a bit daunting, but it is not anywhere near as dangerous as it could be. The red mid camp is picked up by Hogger solo. Blue team is going to pick up their camp as well. Red team does want to get this turn in. There's Imperius dropping another almost 20 gems. Does get poked though, and is not going to be able to pull that off. Sylvanas a little far forward, could get comboed here a little bit, but should be able to survive with help from the Anduin. Taunt onto the... There goes the Wailing Arrow, not finding anyone though. That is one ult down for the red team. They are not in the best spot coming up into the next fight, which both teams want to fight. Blue team has turn-in available. There goes the Cocoon. Cocoon dropping very quickly. Varian right back into the fight. Light Bomb onto the Lucio. Not able to find anyone, but Lucio does go down. Hogger, I don't think that's the direction he was planning on going, but it does work. Pull on to the Sylvanas, trying to save her from imminent death. There comes the Arcana. A little bit of a delay on that as the fight is nearing its end, and he does go down. Looks like Sylvanas is going to go down as well, though. It is 2 for 3 currently. And Lunara very far away, probably going to go down. Leaping Strikes does help her get out of that situation. Beetle in a lot of danger, but does manage to walk away. Red team still has turned in, and in fact, I think that's enough. That is enough on Imperius alone, and there's no one to poke him, meaning that this bottom fort is definitely gone, and the other forts are probably gone. XP advantage is in favor of the red team, and they are in a good position to start pushing here. Did lose a bit of this top fort, not the best position siege-wise in the top lane. Minions a little closer to their side than they probably want, but we will have to see how that plays out. Fair amount of aggression coming from the two of the front line in this mid lane here. Just waiting for the Web Weaver and trying to harass as best they can. Stab does go out onto the Beetle, but does get stunned off. Beetle does drop almost immediately. I hear the Light Bomb. I don't see it. I did see it. It does not find anyone. Mid fort does go down, pretty much uncontested thanks to Sylvanas' trait. Top is actually possibly going to survive due to the blue push that was going on earlier. Does not look like it's going to, though. Lunar a little too scared to try and save the fort. And to be fair, it's not worth saving. Bot lane does manage to get saved and is in fact pushed into the red side. Blaze, however, a little far out. Bunker does get dropped, does manage to save his life. Lucio also trying to manage to save his life. And no one goes down for blue, but that is Bunker down and possibly not going to be available for the next team fight. Neither side, though, has the gems, so they're just going to free cap this bottom fort. Sylvanas' trade putting in work this game already. So Bunker is down, Wailing Arrow is down, both very impactful ults. Red team likely going to be able to get turn in before blue team, but it will be very close. Question is if they can get the gems and turn in. Dumping a little bit of gems just to try and be safe. They are looking for another 4 gems right now. 3 gems. 1 gem. Blue team looking for 2 gems. So this is probably going to be in a position where both teams are able to turn in roughly at the same time. Red team does have turn-in available. Blue team doesn't quite. And there's blue team. Varian's banner does go down. We just need 4 gems to turn in for red. Fair amount of aggression going out to try and get the pokes, and red Web Weavers do manage to drop before the blue team manages to get their turn in. That's a lot of gems sitting on their people that they can lose in this push. Bot lane pushed very far up currently, and it looks like they're going to try and stop the rotation into the bot lane, where red team is looking to just try and get kills right now. Hogger not available for this fight, though, as he is pushing in the top lane. So this is going to be an outnumbered fight if they decide to fight. Same talent here. Just looks like a fair amount of aggression. Not really going to be finding anything, though. Lunara absolutely decimating that camp. They're instead going to rotate mid, it appears. All ultimates available for both sides. Hogger could rotate into this fight easily. That's a little more literal than I was intending, but fair enough. Varian's banner does go down. Blue team does still have turn-in, as none of them fell during that push. They actually didn't really lose much that fight. That was a very solid clear for the blue team. Doesn't quite pull them back into this game yet, but they keep playing like that. They definitely can get back onto this board and easily pull this into a win. Red team, though, looking for the invade. Doesn't look like they actually want it, though. They just want to try and slow down the camp a little bit. Red team does finish their camp first. Blue team does still have turn-in. Red absolutely miles from turn-in. Sylvana's trying to clear the camp for free. Does look like she's going to be able to do so. Imperius a little far out. We're going to see a pull likely. There we go. Shield onto the Imperius. Light Bomb as well. Cocoon does stop the Light Bomb. Cocoon does get broken, though. Charge does not find the Hogger it was looking for. If blue wins this fight, they get a turn-in, but their lanes are all pushed up. It's just going to be an equalization turn-in, not really a valuable one for them. Blue camp did go down. Red camp still alive currently. Blaze trying to clear the lanes a little bit, meaning that this is a favorable fight. Big root onto the Lucio, likely going to be able to blow him up, but he does manage to get away with help from the high five and his dash. There's a lot of gems sitting on the blue people. None of them can go down right now, or they lose a ton of progress into the late game. That, honestly, that Lunara, if she goes down without being able to pick up those gems, definitely could be a game ender right there. That's a lot of gems. Lunara has to stay alive. Who else has a lot? Beetle needs to stay alive. Pretty much those two have enough gems. Does look like Web Weavers are going to go down for blue team. They were, red team was trying to get the boss, decides not to risk it. Boss does get reset. A little bit of aggression. I did hear a taunt. Doesn't look like they found anyone, though. Bot lane is not going to be an issue for the red team anytime soon. Mid lane, however, a little bit in danger, and the fight does look like it's going to be going on. Red team close to 20s. They don't really want to fight here. They kind of want to clear as best they can, get 20s, and then fight. However, Imperius getting very aggressive. Devil Stab out. Lots of damage coming from that Sylvanas. Ult does drop from the Tassadar. Cocoon still on cooldown. Wailing Arrow was used at some point recently. Taunt is back for the Varian. Looks like red team's still interested in trying to get this boss. Now with 20 advantage, they definitely can. It's just a matter of time until that bottom Web Weaver does go down. Not even going to find a wall, I don't think. Oh, it is going to find the wall. Red team wants this boss, just waiting on the blue Web Weaver. Blue team probably going to try and trade the fort. But a boss with 20s pushing on a keep, definitely a dangerous position for blue team to be in soon. Does look like they're going to try and rotate up, trying to get a little bit more on this map in exchange for that boss. They 100% know the boss is there for sure, thanks to Lunara's Wisp. Neither side has turn-in. Blue's close to turn-in here. blue team is probably going to find that mid fort just with the minions. Yep. And they're going to find bottom camp. Does equalize with 20s. So both sides have 20s here. Do we have any alt upgrades? We do have Tassadar's alt upgrade, meaning that it can last the entire fight now. Speaking of, there it is, and you can see that duration bar just spiking constantly. Stab does go on the Tassadar. Lots of damage onto the Imperious. Light Bomb does go out, does find the Beetle. Beetle dropping fast and is silenced, but he does manage to walk away thanks to the high five. Boss not taking any damage. It's all on red team's heroes right now. Blue team, though, also very low. Even if red team dies here, the boss is going to be getting a lot of damage. Red team does lose the Sylvanas. Not sure they want to stay much longer. They're dropping very low and losing a lot of resources. Taunt does go out. Lunara does go down, barely missing the spawn with her leap. Boss is going to drop any second now. This is 1-for-1 so far with damage onto the core. Tassadar's ult still active at the moment. Red team does not have any ultimates, but does manage to stay afloat right now. Is going to be another 1-for-1. Without a healer, though, this is probably going to be game, as blue is not going to be able to keep up. And the core does manage to go down. Barely. That was close. That was terrifyingly close. I felt that in my frickin', like, gut. That was stressful. That's one of those red team's not sure if they just lost the game type things. But that is game 1 in favor of $1 Million JPEG. That was interesting. That was definitely an interesting match. Oh. Heroes is dying. I don't think it likes swapping versions every, like, 20 minutes. One thing that did surprise me, I don't often expect to see high-tier games like Storm Division going into level 20s. Usually you see a lot more advantage pushing and stuff like that. To be fair, I didn't see any openings that either team gave either team, but, like, I don't know, it's like, it's one of those things that level 20s are not usually seen once you get to the higher divisions. Now, what you definitely don't see, I've never seen a high-tier game go much further than 20. Like, in quick match and stuff, you'll have, like, level 27 games and insane stuff like that. But I've never seen that with a prize pool on the line. I am out of water already. Yeah, I've got more near me. We're waiting on a loading bar anyway. I do not know what the next match is. Now I do. Where's the controller? There it is. So we are going to Alterac Pass. Yes, load previous version. I thought I had all files from this version. I guess maybe it only downloaded the heroes? I don't know, that was quicker, so I guess it was just checking. Who can say? I'm not sure what to say to fill these gaps, because I definitely want to, like, just hop into these replay casts and keep things rolling. but my computer disagrees. All right. For those just joining us, that's not what I meant to do. Crap, I forget how to... There it is. Right? On E. There we go. Alright, for those of you just joining us, we have Can't Censorship versus $1 Million JPEG. JPEG is up 1, leading to Death Strikes on Chromie, Psychora on Sylvanas, Mundane Zebra on Hogger, not a very mundane zebra at all, Ginger Boy on Varian. Isn't that Varian skin banned? Assuming someone would have noticed and said something if it is. Maybe I'm thinking of a different Green Man skin. Maybe Varian's the only one allowed. I don't remember. Either way, Shredded Wind on Lucio. Zane Hyde on Johanna. Hyper on the Maya. That's her name. Pepper on Blaze. And I think Chaotic on not Tassadar. Tychus. And Wagoon on the Wolfman. Wagoon? Wagoon? I have no idea how to pronounce WHG. Either way, we're actually seeing less aggression this time around. A lot more just rotations, getting XP, not as much general poking. Varian's just basically a minion at this point. Like, he's kind of useless pre-4. Taking a lot of damage against Blaze there. Either way, I am curious to see how these Maya plays are going to play out. I'm guessing she's going to either go Cage and try and set up big team fights, or she's going to go for the isolation and just try and get as many small advantages as possible. Not seeing anything too atypical on the talent picks so far, except the Chromie. The Chromie did go for Time Walker's Pursuit. I'm very interested. I did not think that talent was all that great, but we'll have to see how valuable it becomes. I mean, it's a good scouting tool. And it does empower her traps. I don't know, I just feel like the quests are a bit more reliable.
Our scouts know that the horde's keeping some of our soldiers prisoners. Get ready to free them.
I love seeing Johanna's just trait and walk away. It's always great fun. Like, you see the Varian trying to lock her down, and she's just like, nah, don't care. Screw you. Is going to be bottom first. I thought it was always top first. Maybe it's random now? I don't know.
All right, lads and lassies. Keep our prison camp from being captured and get our soldiers.
Either way,
out of
Blue
the
Team
fort.
Chromie prefers the top location over the bottom location, because she's able to shoot over like this wall and stuff and do all sorts of cool disruption stuff. It's great fun. She can't do that as much here. Scouting tool does go out. Curious what trap she went. Okay, she did go armor trap. Taunt does go out onto the Johanna. She does drop to about 50%. I think she has trait available if she needs it. She does lose a lot of armor, though, because of these minions in the lane. For those of you who don't know, these camps, they cleave and they reduce armor. So they are quite nasty to fight next to. Still not seeing as much aggression as we did in the last game from either of these teams. Both teams just kind of chilling. Taunt does go out on the Johanna. She's probably, yep, just going to trait. Does not walk away, though. Speaking of aggression, now we're seeing some aggression from Zane. Staying in a lot longer than I would. Dropping to little under 25%. Taunt does go on the Maiev. She's probably just going to be able to walk away fairly easily. Yep. Does look like totem build from the Rhaegar. I personally prefer the shield build, but the totem build is solid and probably better in coordinated groups. Rhaegar dropping very quickly, though. Doesn't manage to walk away there. With him down, blue team might be able to pick up an objective. Doesn't look like they're interested in it right now, though. Honestly, it doesn't really look like either team's interested in it. Are these both late game comps? I don't think they're late game comps. Minions do go down around the blue camp, meaning blue camp is exposed, and they no longer have vision, as you can see by the fact that it is now dark. Which means red team can try and sneak it at some point. Big flank coming in, no taunt though. Taunt does go out now on Blaze, as does the cleanse onto the Blaze, who stayed in quite a bit after the cleanse went off. He apparently did not mind being taunted. Nice time stomp going out onto the red team there, disrupting their rotation a little bit. Bloodlust does go out. Lots of chasing, lots of aggression. Isolation disc does, that's what it's called, right? Containment disc does go out, not finding anyone. Bunker does go down. Maiev saved by the bunker. Is going to keep dropping, though. Hogger going into the backline. Big stun onto the Maiev, who blinks somewhere and then is killed. I don't know where she blinked, but... Oh, poor Tychus. That was less than half a second left on his hearth. Blue team is going to pick up the camp in return. Red team should be up to contest this, though. First camp going this long does have its disadvantages, that being the fact that the timer is still very quick. Stop onto the Blaze. No follow-up on that armor reduction, so just disruption. Time stop onto two of the front line there. Love to see that armor increase. I think that's primarily the reason she took the level 1 is for the arming time. Because that trap would not have worked with either of the other talents. Blue does manage to get the first objective. This mid-camp should take care of the objective for the most part, unless it is cleaned up ahead of time. Looks like red team wants to try and fight 5 instead of just clearing. Never mind. They do split off to try and clear. Taunt does go out onto the Maiev. She's losing a fair amount of health, but does just blink away. Containment disc does go out, freezing the silence. It silences. Oh! I don't remember that being a thing. That might be a new thing, because I do not remember containment disc silencing. That's really cool. So it's even stronger than Cocoon. Taunt does go out on the Maiev. Does seem like they really want this Maiev to go down, which makes sense. She's in a lot of aggressive positions. Not a fan of that Bloodlust. Maiev does not have enough health to keep the chase up. And that is a fairly long cooldown. That is just now going to sit on cooldown. It's not going to be available likely for the next fight. I guess it might be. Fights tend to be pretty well spaced on this map. A little bit of harassment coming from this Varian. Varian likes just throwing his sword at things. I mean, it makes sense. I just find it humorous. I love the hammers. I really do. I much prefer them to just the passive burn. Ult does come out from the Johanna, being very aggressive on the back line, trying to force that Chromie out of the fight. All that aggression and an ultimate, and nothing is found. That always feels bad. They're managing to keep their camp alive for a little while, though. Taunt does go out, as does the cleanse. Fairly big pull. Hogger losing a lot of health, but does just spin out of the fight. I believe that was, yep, that was Containment Disc. Does not find anyone. As mentioned before, this is Chromie's preferred objective when on blue side of the map. So assuming they play defense as long as they did last time, she'll be able to do a lot of disruption.
What the Stormpike Guard can do.
Lots of aggression on this Blaze. I don't think they can kill him. Oh, they do Sylvanas, though. Do have Sylvanas, which does lead to the kill thanks to the tower shutdown. Not sure if they're going to pay for it, though. Ult does come out from the Johanna, who, yep, does get stopped right there. Blaze goes down for free. That is unfortunate. Blue team does scout out and consider doing boss. They also are looking for kills again. Sylvanas does have her trait on cooldown currently. Varian taking free fort shots. Does taunt. Cleanse does go out as well. Doesn't look like anyone's gonna find anyone right now. I guess there's a lot of aggression without anyone really finding anyone. Oh, Johanna, though, does go down thanks to the taunt, just a little too aggressive, and that's the sort of stuff that it looks like blue team was trying to stay aggressive for. With these cycled downs on the red team does put them in a very awkward position where they really don't have the ability to fight this objective. Yeah, Joe is not going to be up in time to contest, really. So we do see the rotation down to bot lane. Just to clean things up a little bit. Check the boss. I don't know if these two can do boss. I honestly don't know if these two can do boss. Especially since they've been scouted. Blue team decides to trade boss for boss, but their boss is going to be pushing with an objective. So this... I don't know how I feel about this call from red team. I honestly don't know how I feel about this call from red team, especially since they do have the Chromie to scout things. Like, this boss is going to take care of bot objective for sure. But boss with objective top lane, like, especially with Sylvanas, they're probably going to lose a keep in this lane. I don't see a world in which they don't at least lose keep front wall. Tyke is a little too far out. Probably could have been found by a taunt if Varian was just a little closer. Didn't want to be too aggressive, though. That's a lot more burn than I thought, so they might be able to save keep front wall here. Especially since blue team decides not to push, instead pushes mid. So they do save keep front wall. I take it back. There is a world in which they manage to not lose a keep front wall. Their boss also didn't really find much, though. Including not being able to clear the objective. Tyke's ult coming out. Taunt does go out onto the Odin. Bloodlust does come out. Odin absolutely getting demolished there, though. Bloodlust is still active, and this now should be ending. Down 1 and against the Sylvanas, they could lose keep here. Depends on how aggressive blue team wants to be with that Tychus down. They've still got some resources at their disposal. Banner does get blown up by the fort. Containment disc does not find anyone, meaning that blue team can now be even more aggressive. And they noticed. Taunt does go out onto the Johanna. Johanna does ult out, and the keep does go down in favor of blue team. It'll take a lot for red team to come back from this at this point. They've lost a lot on the map, are very far behind on XP. Blue team's gonna find 20s very soon. And with those 20s, they can pretty much do whatever they want for a solid minute, minute and a half. Both sides picking up their siege camps. The lanes are all pushed up though. I'm not sure where blue team's gonna find their 20s soon. I say that, and then here's their 20s. I was wrong, it wasn't quite enough.
More of our soldiers have been
Now they have 20s.
Let's take them.
We do see the aggressive high five from the Lucio. Piercing sands. Yeah, nothing too atypical. Odin does come out in defense of the keep. I don't think they're going to be able to save this keep, though. They're down 20s. All blue team needs to do is try and find a kill.
Time for some action. Let's free our soldiers.
They decide it's not worth it. Just back off to the objective. Makes sense. As Muradin says, it's time to advance in the other direction. How did she stay? Oh.
Fight back and claim the
Oh.
prison camp.
Cool. I don't remember that talent being a thing. That's actually a pretty cool talent. I was wondering how she had basically a divine steed, because she does have a divine steed. Both sides picking up their siege camps yet again. With a minute and a half cooldown like that, like, you're gonna see these camps picked up very often. One thing I do love, look at this Hogger. Just bouncing back and forth. That's how Hogger does camps. Bounce, 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 bounce.
They messed with the wrong army.
Oh, level upgrade. That makes sense. They seem pretty built around that bloodlust.
Let's do this.
Remember what I said about 20s? I take it back. Because this game is also 20s. I see the pings. I'm not sure what the pings are for. Holding my breath because I'm not sure. I keep looking for someone to do something. I'm not. Was that Bloodlust? No, that was not Bloodlust. I was gonna say I thought I heard Bloodlust. With the second keep down, blue is now in a win con position. They just need a pick. Actually, may not need a pick. This core is dropping fast. Taunt does go down. Bloodlust does come out. Ult's coming out on all sides. Does drop the Hogger almost immediately. Lots of damage going out onto the core. Not sure if it's going to be able to be finished as everyone on blue team's dropping. Chromie, the only one left, does go down. There's still minions, though. Lots of damage going out onto this core, but it does stay afloat. But there's a few more minions coming in this bot lane here. This is still dangerous for red team. They are not home free yet.
It took not many horse to stop our cavalry. Ha!
They pretty much need to keep someone back to clear for the next probably 20-30 seconds. They are going to make a play for boss. Makes sense. I kind of would prefer blowing up the fort first and then boss. But there are definitely worse uses of your time. I was wondering why she ulted, and then I remembered the ult upgrade makes it heal and reduced cooldown. It's actually a pretty solid ult upgrade.
The Horde's captured more of our troops. You know what to do.
Let's see this fight play out. Oh, final fight's gonna be over boss. Joe's ult is on cooldown for another 20 seconds. Bloodlust does come out. Lots of damage following it up. Joe, though, dropping very quickly. So is Maiev, so is Rhaegar. All they need is probably 2 picks. Then they can finish off top keep and just blow up the enemy core. 2 picks is definitely a game-ending situation for red team here. Joe ult coming out yet again. Disc is coming off cooldown soon. Red team could definitely turn this. Blue team doesn't have a whole lot of their resources. Red team doesn't. Disc does come out. Big pull. There's Hogger. There's Maiev, though. Joe ult trying to save her team. Big stun from the Blaze. Both sides very low. All it takes is one small mistake, and we lose another person. Resources are low. Everything's low. Health is low. Everything. All the things. Blue team is going to make a play for the boss, though, using this opportunity to heal up a little bit, especially with help from that banner. And that's the spell power banner, which means that it helps Lucio's heals. As well as, obviously, the heal increase. Joe does sense it out. Ulting in. Onto the boss. Red team desperately trying to fight for this boss, but they do lose the Joe. Blaze goes onto the point, but doesn't have the health to stay. Bunker does go down. Bloodlust to try and get everyone out. A defensive Bloodlust. Never ideal. Never ideal at all. With blue boss pushing onto this keep, that is going to be 3 keeps down for sure. And with a Joe pick, they could conceivably end here. Looks like they're going to try and instead trying to find another pick. Containment disc does go out onto the Lucio. Not going to do much, though. And there goes the keep. Blue team just looking for that last pick. They just want one more pick. And they probably just found it. Blaze trying to save the Maiev goes down instead. Tychus, a little too aggressive, goes down as well. Maiev trying to save Tychus goes down. Everyone going down to save everyone else. And no one actually getting saved. And the core getting beaten up by a monster. And kaboom. Game 2 goes in favor of Can't Censorship. One. All right. I got asked the question. I will deal with that later. However, I am going to take a quick snack and water break. As we go into game number 3, I will just quickly check what map it is and give you guys some music. There we go. How about you guys aren't sitting in silence? Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and turn off my camera for the time being. I will be back in just a few. And yeah, we will return in a moment. But the show must go on! Probably take another quick snack break after this one. But we'll see. Let's go ahead and hop over to the game screen early. Just try and save some time. So, we've got Gingy Boy. Oh, it is Gingy. I did not see the eye. So, Gingy Boy on Johanna. Death Strikes on... I had that. Death Strikes on... Who are you on? On Li Ming. Shredded Wind on Brightwing. Sakatoro on... Is that Maev? That is Maev. And Mundane Zebra on Leoric. Trying to go mid lane.
10 seconds.
That'll be very eventful.
5, 4.
Meanwhile, for the right side, we've got Chaotic on Hanzo. Lagoon on Karazim. Why am I forgetting names? Hava on Greymane and Zanehyde on ETC. Does look like we're going to see a tower cheese going on. We also see Pepper on the Blaze yet again. Stun onto the Leo. Lots of damage. That's a fair amount of damage for a cheese. Does look like we're going to see two ranged soloing the bot lane. That'll be interesting. Never mind, everyone rotates back. Karazim might get picked. Nope. ETC trying to protect this rotation. Karazim continues to be aggressive. Man, this dude has like a death wish or something. Oh, he's hanging top. So we do have some sort of weird split going on. Looks like he's gonna try and capture top camp while blue team captures bottom camp. Guessing from that behavior, oh, he's redemption. I thought he was target practice. Does look like this camp is going to get cleared for free, not even stepping foot into the lane. Brightwing disappearing. Probably going top. Yep. Does almost go down trying to save someone. Apparently we missed all the action up here. Meanwhile, I thought everything interesting was going to be happening bot lane. Not really seeing any aggression going on right now, aside from that very apparent aggression that was earlier. The tank's just chilling bot lane. Of the two tanks, I feel like Johanna is stronger to be sitting in a solo lane, especially since she has a camp backing her up. Both sides do pick up their bruiser camp. I expect to see them holding it.
I will reach your position shortly.
Blue team not deciding to hold it. Red team's probably going to hold till usually 10 seconds is the ideal point. Okay. Besides, they'll get a little bit more time with the Immortal. Now, I'm not sure which of these is the... Okay, so shield is blue for me. Does look like blue and red are both going to try and clear their camp. Meanwhile, blue Immortal taking the initial bursts of damage. Red's going to be caught up with, though. Both sides about equal right now. Blue Immortal dropping faster again. Lots of aggression coming out, though. Big pull. If only it was a little bit faster, would have gotten onto the stun there. Big slide from the ETC. Very low, though. Doesn't really have an opportunity to stay much. Li Ming does go down. Brightwing barely staying afloat. Same thing with Maiev. And halftime will go in favor of blue team.
Must find another way.
Let's watch this. Not that that means anything. Does look like red team is just going to try and disrupt blue team as they try and burn that shield a little bit. And red team's Immortal that goes first. Lots of aggression coming from the red team here. ETC cut out a little bit, does slide over the wall into safety. This is one of the few maps that I do like the power slide over terrain. I do forget what it competes with, though. Oh, that's new. If no enemies are hit, so it's a mount alternative now. That's very cool. He's just chilling very aggressively. Very much relying on that constant crowd surfer.
Yet we have not seen the end of him.
Double stun. Timed it perfectly with the Brightwing teleport. Dropping quite a bit, but does manage to walk away relatively unscathed. Meanwhile, top camp is going to be picked up by the red team, it seems, unless Leo does bully him off the point. We see the Brightwing phase shift calls. Unfortunately, not going to be fast enough. That's actually probably going to be both camps in favor of red team. Indeed, both camps in favor of red team. That puts blue team in a little bit of a tricky position, especially because of the XP advantage. We're likely going to see 10s pretty soon from red team, and with that, a spike in aggression as they try and take advantage of their early 10s. Actually, looks like we're seeing the spike in aggression early in this top lane here. Karzim just chilling off to the side. Chilling like a villain. And here's the sort of aggression I was talking about. Karzim just chilling on the point. Does get pulled off thanks to the Maiev. ETC gets pulled back over the terrain that he just tried to slide through. Bunker to try and zone a little bit. We are, however, going to see the Immortal halftime already going in favor of red team. Maybe. Big shield going out, getting the triple stun. Palm saving the Blaze. Perfect timing on that. However, it's not going to be available to save the Greymane or Karzim himself. In fact, it may not have even saved Blaze. We'll find out in now. Nope. Now, halftime did go still in favor of red team. This bottom camp, though, getting value. Okay, I feel bad for him. That was bully. That was bullying. Big double stun onto the Li Ming. Speaking of bullying. Oh, here we go. Aggression in the bot lane here. Trying to force the Maiev out. She does take a sip and tries to go back into the fight. This objective is still anyone's objective, I say, as the Kharazim blows up very, very quickly. Does get saved with palms. I do see the containment disc locking down the ETC. He can't do anything, but now he can. Leo does manage to get out. Still anyone's objective for sure right now. Blue objective starts burning. This objective is likely going to fall in favor of red team, and it does. Still fairly low health for blue team here. Brightwing not having any targeted healing does start to show its disadvantages. ETC does have stage dive available. Looks like he will try and clear the bot lane and then just stage dive top, I'm assuming. Fair amount of siege coming out here. There's a cocktail quest? Oh. Interesting. I did not realize there was a cocktail quest. Blink heal is now available for Brightwing, but she is taking a lot of damage trying to get those blink heals.
The demon has fallen. Will rise again in time.
And this is close. This is honestly anyone's game. Red team is going to pick up top camp. Blue team going to try and pick up bottom camp. I'm going to take this opportunity to drink some more water. I was gonna say, not sure where they're hearthing. And I just saw a map. Yep, red team forcing a hearth. Getting a little bit of damage on this keep. I definitely feel like they are stronger into this later game. Containment disc going out onto the Kharazim, meaning he's not going to be able to heal for another little while. Bunker does go down and is utilized by a lot of red team here. There goes the bunker. Go for the throat was used. Does not find a kill. Greymane very low. Palm on cooldown. Everything red team has is on cooldown here. Blue team still has a lot of tools available. Leo does go down. Brightwing goes down. Tools are not going to be enough as blue team loses 2 going into this objective. However, bot lane does need to be cleared by red team here. Stage dive is on cooldown, so he can't just global over there. Does look like Blaze is going to pick up the bottom lane. XP is equal for both sides right now. Blue team does have all their people now. Brightwing can just global in at any point. Entomb does go out on 2 DPS. Greymane using his Worgen form to try and get out of it. Palm does go down and is utilized. That is 2 for blue team, both Greymane and Kharazim. Hanzo not able to jump over the wall quite the way he wanted to, and does go down. Meaning that is 3, and likely an objective for blue team. Leo, laughing maniacally, is going to go clear the top lane. Because apparently that's how he hearths, is just laughing. Is this going to be keep for keep? I feel like this is keep for keep. Oh no, it's been cleared. Stage dive does come in. There's still no Hanzo, but there's also no Leo or Li Ming right now. Halftime does go in favor of blue team, but barely. I honestly thought this objective was already going to be taken. It is still available. Big pulls from the Maiev. Everyone on red team's low. Containment disc onto the Blaze pretty much guarantees his death here. He goes boom. Karzim pops his ultimate on himself. Does barely manage to survive, but probably not for much longer. Greymane does go down. And Karzim does walk away, popping a spray. And dancing. Why are hearth animations for some of these people so bizarre? I mean, to be fair for Anduin, he like looks through a bunch of playing cards, and it's weird. And that's an objective for blue team. Unfortunately, it's not going bot lane. It is going the most defended lane, which is top.
Our glory radiates.
This means it has to push through an entire fort, an entire keep, in order to see any value really at this point. And forts at this stage of the game do not matter. At this stage of the game, I would give a fort for a candy bar. That being said, Hanzo does go down for said fort. Did not expect them to be that aggressive and that successful, I'd imagine. Without a Hanzo, that's a lot of their burn on this objective. A lot of their safe burn, that is. Ah, ETC. Just trying to be annoying in their backline. Not seeing anything major come out yet, except for the stage dive that just went out. I have dropped to about 50%, but is okay currently. Hanzo's back now. Red team's core is completely exposed.
Thus ends my assault on hell. I must rest for
This puts blue team in a very secure situation where they definitely can end at any point. There's the Dragon Arrow, does find the Brightwing. Brightwing dropping to about 50%, does blink away. Containment disc onto the ETC to shut him down. Entomb, he has no way to get, never mind, he could slide. However, the Karazim jumped in to try and save him. Bit of a mistake there, as he does not have enough health to do that. ETC does go down trying to save the Karazim, and successfully saving the Karazim. Blaze also goes down, I'm assuming trying to save the Karazim. And Karazim goes down. Nope. He ultimates. He's fine. He's not fine. He's very not fine. This is not the look of someone who's fine. Either way, this is a lot of core damage at the very least coming from blue team onto the red team core. Leo doesn't have a whole lot of health to stick around, but with only a Greymane and a Hanzo to defend the core, especially with the Greymane contained, I'm not seeing a lot of options for red team to stop this siege. Greymane might be able to find a pick, but it's going to be too risky, especially since the core does go down. And that's game number 2 in favor of Cat Censorship. Ta-da! Very cool. I remember fighting against CCS. I don't remember fighting these people, but I do remember fighting this team. And so I don't know if they changed names or if they're like completely different from when I fought them. Either way, gotta wait for heroes to behave. That was a very solid game. I honestly probably would have called it in favor of JPEG. Like, they had a really solid start, and then they just kind of started to fall off. I will say, unfortunately, these games were spoiled for me with how I needed to get the replays. But they definitely do not disappoint. Even knowing how this best of 5 plays out, this has not disappointed. And we could still see JPEG pull out a 2-game win. Like, they're fighting tooth and nail in these games. There be free tacos here? Unfortunately, not today. Or rather, not right now. You missed them. Just barely. We're on game 3, so you missed them. Vernal Shrines. Only thing I don't like, they don't tell me who picks these maps. I really wish I could know which team picked these maps, because that would tell me a lot about what they believe their strengths and weaknesses are. Yes, I'm aware it's an old version. But yeah, Zoltos, we did have a snack break, right before the last game. Infernal Shrines, with how much I've seen of these two teams, I honestly would put my money on JPEG. Like, I feel like they're a little stronger on this style of map. To be fair, though, I probably would have done that with BOE, too. Yeah, I don't know. CCS has surprised me thus far. But there will not be any more surprises, as we will soon have the answers. For the left team, we have Shredded Wind on Malfurion, Gingy Boy on Stitches, Mundane Zebra on Blaze, Death Strikes on Tychus, and Sakatora on Falstad. As for the right side, we've got Wagoon on Brightwing, Pepper on the Haka, Chaotic on Sylvanas, Haiva on, I believe that's the Chromie, and Zane Hyde on Dibbles. Unusual tanks for this level. Honestly, unusual tanks for this level. They're both solid, don't get me wrong, just unusual. Offlaner's going straight to their lanes, and Sylvanas, being the banshee she is. Hi, Stitches. See, I like these Dibble lockdowns. He's doing a lot of anchoring, which is very solid. That being said, that route was painful. Honestly, not sure how he managed to walk out of that. That was painful. Like, that was seriously painful to watch. Again, we see a Chromie picking the Time Walker's Pursuit. I might need to play with that, because if it's being picked up, like, there's gotta be a reason it's being picked up. I'm assuming it's for the trap arming. Did she also go the armor traps? No, she went the charges. Okay. Uh-oh, Bronze Dragon pulled by the Stitches, and blown up by the Stitches! Poor Chromamu! Gotta feel bad for her. We do see some aggression going in the top lane here. Tank off lane versus off lane damage. Not gonna find anyone though. Meanwhile, mid lane blue camp is getting blown up by the red camp quite quickly. Sylvana's going to help in that even more so. However, bot camp's going to be picked up by blue team. We do see yet another pull from the Stitches, root onto the Dibbles. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to make it out of that. That's a lot of damage, and phase shift does top off the Dibbles here. Meanwhile, Sylvanas a little far in the mid lane. Run, Sylvanas, run! Why did he come in from that way? Good question. There's been a lot of interesting directional rotations going on so far, especially with the Dibbles. Like, He's been rotating very aggressively, which I like. He's giving his team a lot of vision. But yeah, there have been some interesting rotations. First objective is online. Just gotta wait for someone to click it. There we go. Brightwing clicks it. And everyone will be available for it, except maybe Dahaka. No, he's fine. He's fine. Just might Hearth for mana. I mean, he's a global, so he can just kind of hang up here for quite some time. Does look like blue team, though, not going to be convinced that they're going to win the objective. Decides to instead just push top lane. Dibble's going to help try and defend that. Big pull on the Falstad. Not... Oh, big push on the Falstad, too. He does lose a fair amount of health there just because of those. Chromamu and Brightwing also going to be aiding the top lane defense, and Sylvanas should be able to finish up this objective pretty soon. Doesn't quite believe she can, though, and decides to play it safe and back off for the time being. Hook almost finding her. Dahaka, though, rotating in, decides to stasis out of the route. Makes sense. Pulls the Blaze instead of getting stunned by him. Blaze dropping very quickly here. Flips into Chromamu's skill shots. Dibbles has a lot of health here. And red team will most certainly be winning this first objective. Now, without a proper cleanse, the jump does have to be eaten by the Stitches. He does have Nature's Cure. Decides not to cure off the stun. Makes sense because this is a frozen, so those roots could be deadly. With Sylvanas and a frozen, though, like, this is going to be one heck of a push, even pre-10. Dibbles looks like he's looking for a pick. I think the jump was just used, so it's... yeah. So it's not coming up. Probably not again. Oh, we might get another jump. There's another jump. Doesn't have enough health to do anything with it, but... we do see the anchoring. It looks like red team wants to try and steal this camp, and probably going to be able to. Stop onto the Blaze. No flip, though. Oh, there we go. Stun, flip. Oh, poor Tychus. Blocked by a fat dinosaur. Do see the rewind ultimate for the Chromie. Picking off the Falstad. With 2 down, this is an opportunity for red to push quite aggressively. Stitches just trying to walk away. Stitches doesn't want to play anymore. It's Stitches' bedtime. Red team is going to be picking up this bottom camp and likely following it up with their own camp pretty soon after. Brightwing could definitely get hooked, but it looks like she's not going to stay long enough for that to happen. Picking up the XP. Honestly, not sure how I like Brightwing with the Dahaka, just because you already have the global. But I don't know what the bans were, and I don't know what the comfort pick for the healers are. And I mean, she's not bad here. She's got tons of polymorph targets that are all effective. Next objective should be announced soon. Do like picking up, because these top camps, they'll push indefinitely, but with it being top lane, there's not a whole lot of value in picking them up during the objective. They do want to hold it for a little bit, though, apparently. Dibbles gets eaten! Dibbles gets eaten! And I think his charge is on cooldown, so I don't think he gets out of this. Nope, there goes Dibbles. And he did not have his stone. Fortunately, though, it's still quite some time before the objective. Dibbles should be available for it.
Power gathers within the shrine. It will be made to serve us.
Uh-oh, rewind. And the helping hand! Poor Brightwing gets put to sleep. Now, this is what I like seeing. I love seeing globals doing this stuff. Because Dahaka can show up at any point when he's needed. And in fact, wants to show up in the middle of the fight. Not before and not after. There's the Soul Stone, and he's eaten! Not sure if he's going to get behind the wall, and he's not dropped behind the wall. Phase shift does go out. Unfortunately, the gust. There's the blink, though, saving the Brightwing. Not sure how that managed to work out in their favor. That was rough. Speaking of rough, though, Stitch is getting quite bullied here. Dibbles, though, also getting quite bullied here. Does manage to walk away, though, I think. I think I see. Oh. Oh. Rude. Rude, you stupid bird. Rude. Dahaka, though, just harassing this backline further. Does get stopped so he doesn't get hooked. Dibbles is back. Looks like Fire Stomp build, because he's just dumping Fire Stomps. Tychus does go down. The wall is down. Oh. I thought he was going to get teleported back and dropped right back into his team. That would have been beautiful. He does manage to survive, though. Very solid. Can't say no to that. Oh, they buffed it. I thought it was a solid talent already. It's a difficult to use talent, though, and a lot of people don't prefer the Soul Shield just because of the fact that it is an active that actually requires thought, as opposed to the others, which you just kind of do stuff with. Do you see some aggression coming from the blue team here? They're trying to control the map while they lose top objective. Makes sense. Always try and trade stuff. Now, this I love to see. This is fairly advanced, trying to stall out the objective, giving your team some time to actually respond to what's going on. Now, with them pushing this bottom fort, I definitely agree with no longer holding it. I mean, they're trading fort for fort, and they might be able to get a keep out of this. Whereas blue team, they can't. Like, they've got to respond to this now. There's the jump bait. Honestly, would have liked to see Tychus bait it and then pop his Odin to soak it. But hey. Worked out alright. Maybe they just didn't want Tychus to eat the damage. We are after 13, which means that hook is even more dangerous. Oh, he actually went hook build, too. Dibble's popping his flame breath. Does get pulled. Polly does probably save him from getting eaten. Stun into stun into stun. It's a Stitches, though, so he's just going to walk away. Now, I'm curious what the plan is for red team here. There's not much for them to do at the moment. And they don't really want to fight, as they are up XP. Well, fighting is no longer an option. It is now mandatory. They do have numbers advantage. Falstad can fly in, though. Isolation onto the Blaze. And speaking of Blaze, that's him. Yep, that's him dead. Somehow Dibbles is still alive. I honestly wrote him off there. Phase shift was canceled onto the Dibbles. Solid stop, successfully saving the Chromie. And somehow Blaze was the only one to go down in all that mess. That is very surprising. Looks like both teams are going to be picking up their camps. A little early for my taste, but not terrible. Taka could be a little bullied here, but he should be able to walk away pretty easy. Looks like red team is going to decide to go for the neutral camp. There's a lot of XP to be picked up there.
Ready. A shrine gathers power.
And there's the neutral camp.
You'll take it from me.
Dibbles going in here. Does get eaten. Solid breath. Stitch is dropping very, very quickly here. Looking to see what the Dahaka does, because he's a little far behind. Like, he's not really where he wants to be right now. And now he's really not where he wants to be, as he got rooted in his team's back line. However, with Stitches down, I don't think they can really contest this shrine. I'm going to try and position my camera so I can see both of them. Yeah, I don't really see how blue team can contest this shrine for the next 30 seconds or so. And that's more than enough time for red team to complete the shrine. So Falstad getting bullied in the top lane here. Yep, I was gonna say, I don't think he walks out of this. Now with 20s for red team, blue team does not have the opportunity to contest this at all. We do see the blink heal stealth. There's a lot of cool stuff you can do with that stealth. I'm sorry. I disagree, game. That hook hit the freaking Dahaka. Blue team really needs 20s. Good jump bait. Red team just kind of trying to play it safe here, it looks like. Not sure what Diablo's doing there, honestly. Ah. Gust does successfully aid the disengage, trading Stitches for Dibbles. Dibbles will be back, only 25 souls. That was a nice buff to Dibbles, making it so that he doesn't lose his entire soulstone post-10. Because otherwise that might have been a game sentence. Back when Dibbles lost his entire soulstone, like, he would just be too squishy after dying this late in the game. His Dibbles is out for blood. Like, seriously, man. Apparently when this guy's on Dibbles, he does not know the definition of ensuring his team is with him. Like, he's just out on an island. I mean, he's doing fine, so it seems to be working for him. But he definitely goes out on an island. Next objective should be called soon, I feel like. Blue picking up their camp a little early, I think. Should just get... I guess against the Dahaka, it'll just get free cleared anyway. There's red pings over here. Are those red pings? Because someone pinged on their way, and I thought it was blue, but it was red on my map. I don't know how pings show up for the observer. I mean, that one was an auto ping, but
Will be ready soon.
whatever. So yeah, now this will be pushing during the objective. Honestly, since this is a bottom lane, this objective could go for either side and could end the game. Like, if it was any other lane, blue team couldn't end with this objective. They would need to push without it in order to end. But because it's bot lane, this could still be... Like, this could definitely still go in favor of blue team. Dibble's not liking his island anymore. To be fair, he doesn't have a soul stone anymore. What is his soul stone at? 28. Halfway for red. Blue's got to engage on this. And they agree, going in on the Dibbles here. Dibbles dropping quickly. I hear the wailing arrow. Hungry, hungry stitches. Ah, okay. With this combination, that's actually worth it. I was gonna say, hungry, hungry stitches is like really not great. But I see what they're doing. They're forcing everyone into the gust. Lots of damage going out here, and just red team getting shredded. I didn't see any of the red team ults, but they were all apparently used. And here we go, we've got Blaze trying to finish the objective from behind while blue team pushes. They don't have a Sylvanas to shut down structures, but that doesn't really matter, as this late in the game, Stitches can just kind of tank structure hits. Blaze is going to be having some problems on the objective. And this is now going to be pushing onto onto core. Blaze does go down. Arcane Punisher picked up for blue team. Red team, he's going to be back soon. Big Gust does lock down the Dahaka and does end him. Meaning 1-for-1 trade. Objective pushing core. This is going to take a lot of effort for red team to not lose here. Especially, like, they need to bait the jump. There's the jump. Great bait. Yeah, no, that was a perfect bait. That's step one. Now they need a pick. Big silence. Lots of damage onto blue team here. They might... Oh, big jump. Unfortunately, it's the red team that... blue team that finds a pick, not the red team. And... yeah, no, red team needed a pick. I don't see how they pull this off. Without that pick, this objective is just going to keep beating up the core. Sylvanas is beating up the core. There's another jump trying to shut down the Dibbles. Dibbles does manage to get it away. Big gust to keep the Sylvanas off. And the GGs are being called. And that is game, set, and match. That was beautiful. I honestly thought Red Team had that one. I'll be honest, I thought we were going to a Game 5. I really thought Red Team had that one. But, unfortunately, we are not going to a Game 5, and we are leaving it there. I'd love to continue talking about the match, but that took a lot more out of me than I thought it would. So, thank you all for joining me. I hope you all have a wonderful evening, and I will see you all next time. Fare thee well.